Hey guys, welcome to another video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at a couple different external storage solutions from Kingston. And two of these are from the HyperX line, and we can look at those right here. One is a USB flash drive. This is the Savage HyperX, and this is 128 gig flash drive here from Kingston. And again, this is USB 3.1, and this is generation 1 of the Savage. We're going to be taking a look at that. Then also in the HyperX line, this is the Fury. This is a 240 gig SSD. So if you're looking for an SSD drive for like a laptop or a desktop, say you want a little more speed and you want to get away from those, rotational drives that are clanking at 7,200 RPMs, then we'll take a look at the HyperX Fury as a solution for that. And you can also use this as an external drive if you just get a housing or a casing that you can use, and I'll show you one of those here in a sec. Then also, and this actually boasts 500 millibytes per second, according to what Kingston has on here. Then from the Data Traveler line from Kingston, we're going to be taking a look at the USB 3.1 Type C flash drive. So this is actually a Type A and a Type C. So it's got two sides to it. This is of course the Type A, and then on the back side here, if you flip this open, you have the Type C. So this will work great with like the new MacBooks or the Chrome Pixel. And I don't believe this is OTG on this one, so you can't use it for like the phones like the Nexus 6P or anything that has the USB-C, but this is one of those C to A's. You can take and transfer data from one to the other, which is really nice. Then the other one here we haven't even opened yet. This is the Data Traveler Micro Duo 3.0. The other one was the 3C. This one is actually USB-A and with an OTG micro USB on the other side. So this one you can actually use between, as you can see in the picture here, your phone and your laptop or your desktop, whatever. If you want to transfer files between those two devices, this will plug in because it's got OTG, which is on the go. Your mobile device has to support OTG. A lot of them do anymore on the Android line. Samsungs, those are pretty much given that you're going to have that support. So that is another one we're going to take a look at here. So what we're going to do is we're going to pause the video. We're going to set up a MacBook here, and we're going to do some speed tests on these to see what we get, and see if they can actually live up to the hype that Kingston has labeled all these. And you can see that, like this one here on the Savage, it says 350 megabytes per second on reads and 250 megabytes per second on writes. So if we get that in the frame there, we're going to go and take a look and see, can we actually get that with this. So I'm going to pause the video, we're going to hook this up, and we'll be right back, guys. Alright guys, welcome back. So we've got quite the little elaborate setup here. So let's go over the setup real quick before we get into the performance test, so you can see exactly how we're measuring this. Connected to this MacBook, this is the new MacBook Retina with Type C USB. Because this only has one Type C port, what I've done is I've got a Mars Boy hub, which is a Type C to like Type A hub. So I was giving me two USB 3.0 ports and also another Type C here on the end, which we've plugged in the Type C Data Traveler 2. Also we've plugged in the Savage Fury X here, and then also we've got the actual SSD drive in a tech housing over here. So this is actually my solid state drive, just in a little external casing. Now, something with the hub here, this is just too much, so I've actually put a LimeWire USB charger in the mix here to power that SSD drive in this casing. So I'm giving it a little bit of voltage in because Type C with this gets this like adapter here in the way, or this hub. We do lose some of our power capabilities through the USB Type C, so I'm compensating that way. So if we look in here, let's go ahead and zoom in on the screen here, and I will show you that all three devices are actually recognized now, plugged into this. So we've got the Kingston which is the Savage. We've got the HyperX, which is the actual SSD, and we have another Kingston, which is actually the data traveler, with a Type-C data traveler. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and run a speed test on these. And the first one we've selected, and this is at a 1 gigabit stress test, so we're just going to be sending 1 gig of data at this. So let's go ahead, kind of zoom in here on the screen. And the first thing we're going to do is look at the Savage. So let's go ahead and run the speed test on the USB flash drive. Now this is 128 gig. This is what it says here. They're going to say 350 meg read, 250 write. So let's see what we get. Let's hit the button. So we're getting about 180, 190. This is writes, and on the reads we're getting 350. Pretty much right on the target for their reads. Now their writes are just a little bit behind. They were saying 250, but we're getting closer to about, there was only 136. So we are getting some close specs on the flash drive. So let's go ahead and stop that test. Now the next thing we're going to move on to is the actual SSD drive. So we'll select the HyperX one here, which is the HyperX Fury SSD. Now it isn't an Intech housing. This is a USB 3.0 housing going into an adapter hub and then into the Type-C. So let's go ahead and run the speed test on this one. And again, we're getting a little better. Now we're getting about 206 or 205 writes and almost 400 reads. Now remember, they were actually saying that this was 500 right here. So if we can get that in focus, 500. So on the writes we're way under what we should be getting, and on the reads we were pretty close. We're like 400. So we are, falling under the specs on that. Now those 500 you're probably going to get better when this is like your C drive hooked up to your motherboard on a desktop. Okay, so we're doing this externally. We're going at USB 3.0 speeds. Now you can get 5 gigabit throughput on Type-C and USB 3.0 or 3.1, so that is our constraint here, but pretty good speeds externally just through that. So let's look at our final device here, and this is going to be the Kingston Type-C data traveler. Let's go ahead and hit start on that one. And we're getting about 100. Well, we dropped pretty fast on the writes. We were almost at 100. And let's see what we get on the reads. And about 118 megabits per second on the reads. So, and then boy, it really starts to struggle here on the writes for some reason. But we are going through this hub again. So not too terrible. Let's go ahead and zoom back out now. As you can see again, the setup. All this tested through Type-C and this little Mars Boy USB 3.0, 3.1 hub to get this all in there. Now the other device that we didn't look at in the test here was the OTG Type-A data traveler Micro Duo. This one here again is one that you can plug in Type-A and then transfer it back and forth from your phone or OTG devices, micro USB. Support it, and it's going to have about the exact same speeds as the one we're looking at, and that is why we are not going to run a speed test on it. But if you want any of these devices, check the show notes. I will have a link where you can pick up each and every one of these. Kingston is really good for storage, especially external and internal storages, especially if you're gaming rigs or whatever. Those Savage Fury HyperX lines are just awesome, and that's definitely where you're going to get your highest performances in that HyperX line from them. But I did want to actually show a couple other solutions. Again, the Micro Duo data travelers. Again, check the show notes. I'll have a link to each and every one of these items. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and a subscription to the channel really helps us out. And as always, guys, thanks for watching and have a good one.